The Hemingway-Pfeiffer Museum and Educational Center's legacy begins with the birth of Pauline Pfeiffer in 1895 and Ernest Hemingway's birth in 1899. In 1901, the Pfeiffers established Pfeiffer Pharmaceuticals and purchased their first piece of property in Piggott, Arkansas. In 1908, Pfeiffer Pharmaceuticals merges with William R. Warner Company, and Paul Pfeiffer purchases more land in Clay County. The Pfeiffers officially moved to Piggott in 1910. In 1920, Pauline goes to work for Vanity Fair in New York. Ernest Hemingway marries Hadley Richardson in 1921. In 1922, Carl Pfeiffer marries Matilda Schmidt. In 1925, Pauline moves to Europe to work for Vogue magazine. It is there she meets Ernest and Hadley and even joins them for the Christmas holiday. Ernest visits Pauline in Paris in 1926. Later that year, Ernest and Hadley separate, and Ernest's first novel, The Sun Also Rises, is published. In 1927, Ernest Hemingway marries Pauline Pfeiffer in Paris. Ernest visits Piggott for the first time in 1928. It is there he meets his lifelong friend, Otto Toby Bruce. In the same year, Patrick Hemingway is born, and the family returns to Europe. In 1929, Hemingway's second novel, A Farewell to Arms, is published. The Pfeiffers hold a family reunion in Piggott, and Uncle Gus visits the Hemingways in Europe. Paul Pfeiffer establishes the Piggott State Bank in 1930. In 1931, Uncle Gus purchases the Hemingway home in Havana, Cuba, and Gregory Hemingway is born. In 1932, the barn studio catches fire. Ernest only saves his manuscripts. In 1933, the film adaptation of A Farewell to Arms premieres. Ernest goes on a safari with Pauline, and Carl and Matilda Pfeiffer purchase their home in Piggott near Paul and Mary. The Hemingways visit Key West in 1934. Green Hills of Africa is published in 1935. In 1936, Pauline visits her family in Piggott. In 1937, Ernest and Pauline raise money for the Loyalist cause in Spain, and Ernest heads to Sun Valley in 1939. In 1940, For Whom the Bell Tolls is published. Pauline separates from Ernest Hemingway, and Ernest marries war correspondent Martha Gellhorn. Paul Pfeiffer dies in Piggott in 1944, and Mary Pfeiffer dies shortly after in 1950. The Old Man and the Sea is published in 1952. In 1957, The Face in the Crowd premieres in Piggott. Ernest dies in Ketchum, Idaho in 1961. In 1981, Carl Pfeiffer dies in Piggott. The home and barn studio are placed on the National Historic Register in 1982. In 1997, Arkansas State purchases the property, and the grand opening is in 1999. Matilda Pfeiffer dies in 2002. Carl and Matilda's home is a museum today. The Hemingway-Pfeiffer Museum and Educational Center has a rich history that still keeps visitors coming from all over the world. Plan your visit today.